The therapist just, he really, he pushed us towards each other even more.
Did you read my notes?
No, why?
Because that was the next one.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. No,
it was good.
Oh, I know.
That was literally the next one that I had.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I took your note. My bad.
No. It literally was like by us being able to put it out there, have the right language, then we were able to come together to fight the problem, focus on the problem and resolve the problem.
We was on two sides of if you go to dinner, we was on two sides. Yes. And this time, he got us to be back on the same side, so we're attacking the problem instead of our back to the problem. So because it was quite a few times where he would he would be working with you and trying to get you to do stuff, and I'm just but he does this, he doesn't. He was like, I'm not talking to you right now. He cut it off quickly.
He's like, okay. He was like, look, she is defending you, and I'm just trying to work through some things with you. Yeah. And all in face. So so that's what it was like. It was just and it really honestly it got us to stop worrying about all the noise and to focus on so if this is our trigger, how do we figure this out? Mm-hmm. So then that everything else can flow. And I'm spit.
This is the B-side, B-side, B-side of marriage. This is the B-side, B-side, B-side of marriage.
Hey family, and welcome to another episode of the Bside of Marriage Podcast. I'm your host, Rashonda, and this is my husband and co-host,
Jason.
And here at the B-side, we talk about everything related to marriage. The good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B-side. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please be sure to comment and subscribe. And if you're listening on any of the audio platforms, please be sure to rate and review.
And follow us on Facebook at Bside of Marriage, at the Bside of Marriage, and on Instagram at Bside of Marriage. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. And with that, let's jump into our first segment where we like to share an A or B side moment from the week.
So.
And you're going first.
So.
Oh, you ready? You tag me in. Go.
So my A side, and I'm going to say this.
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna say this and I don't want it to sound weird. So I will say this: peer pressure is good, and it's bad.
Okay.
Only reason I'm saying that because I wouldn't say peer pressure is good. I only say it in this instance because finally what I've been trying to get my youngest to do since this summer was to learn to ride his bike.
Oh.
And our first two kids, I tried to teach them.
That was not good.
I taught them how to ride, but it wasn't until their friends, they saw what their friends do, and then they just figure it out on their own. Mm-hmm. So now youngest comes home yesterday, talking about he wants me to teach him how to ride a bike. I basically taught our daughter this summer. She was scared of.
That's more toward the end of last year. The last school year.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, I'm saying this A side because now he's gonna. I can show him how to ride bike because he sees everybody else at school on bikes, and he doesn't want to be pulled in a little cage anymore. So
that's. He doesn't even fit in the little seatbelt.
He don't fit in the seatbelt no more. So he's getting big, but. He sees his friends and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to learn how to bike. So that's my A side because now finally he's motivated to learn and he's going to want to learn now. So that's my A side.
Yeah, we'll see how long it takes. No, for real, we'll see how long it takes because it was the same thing with swim. He was like, not really learn. Like he was learning he learned survival techniques right off the bat. But after that, he was like, big arms, nah. Flipping over, no. And then we went and he saw his friend not having on floaties, just hanging out in the pool. He all of a sudden, I'm not getting in with those.
But that's
floaties.
what I'm saying. It's about
I was like, sir,
it's about your friend. What about your friend? And that's literally
exactly.
what it is. So what about you?
It is. I also have an A side. I feel as though we've been riding a good wave. Yeah. We've been sharing a lot of A sides, not too many B's. Yeah, so that's good. It goes really, really well with what we're going to talk about today. But my A side is that I had midterms a couple of weeks ago, and I had
the praise hands. These are praise hands. These ain't jazz hands. These are praise hands.
But that's not the A side. So I had monster papers to write. One was extremely technical and extremely long, and was doing all the things. And so, anyways, because of that, and we were also prepping for our youngest birthday, and like trying to get ready for school or try to figure out basic plans for back to school and having back to school activities for our oldest and all the things. And I was just like, oh, we gotta cook, gotta feed the family and all the stuff. But because my husband is home, he jumped right on in and he was making dinner. He was making meals that I wouldn't have made. Because I'm just like, y'all just need a protein, get y'all a veggie, this is dinner. Like, whatever is quick, he would, so he even, like, did the meal planning and, like, all the things. So that's my A side, that it's just weird to be able to have, like...
I thought you was going to talk about school.
Someone else.
That was a good turn. I like that.
Yeah, well, no, because I was, like, really, like, trying to do all the things, and then I was trying to, like, make sure I was ahead of schedule, because I knew, like, on the actual birthday, I couldn't do much because, we got to celebrate them. So I was just like, this is what. But Jay jumped in and he was like, making dinner and all the things. So literally I could work on my paper, take a break to eat, do bedtime, and then go back to work on my paper. So it was great. So, yeah.
Okay. So, I like that one. That was good.
Yes.
Didn't expect that one. Affirmations. That's good. I like that. All right. So next segment is the P2P share. So where we share something we were reading, listening to, or watching. So I'm gonna let you go first if you got one.
I'm gonna go with the book of Ephesians. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna go with chapter 1 of Ephesians. Okay. That's where we were with our Bible study group. And in that, it was just really just confirmation about how, as a partnership, like, we always say we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us, but literally it's a partnership with God. Like, you have to do things. You have to do your part here on earth so that he can come in and intervene supernaturally on your behalf. And so just like really just getting into that chapter and my study time, that just like really resonated with me. And so I would just recommend you all to like check out that chapter, Ephesians chapter 1, to just really see how... just to really like understand how this is a partnership and how God is in it with you as long as you're willing to do your part.
See, I don't want to do my P2P. You done went.
Well, you should have went first.
You done went biblical. So
well, that's what it was like last week. It wasn't so much, so I had to bring it back.
All right, so I'm going to go with something I watched. So
what is it? Because it could be what I was going to say, but then I got holy.
So if you want to watch something, I guess a documentary, mind you, it's on Netflix called It's the Manti Te'o Story. The thing about why I'm kind of recommended is just because it shows how quickly the media can turn on somebody. Yes. And to actually get the actual full story, meaning, like I said, because I remember this story. I remember when it was happening, all the stuff, when he almost won the Heisman. I remember all that stuff, how it was playing out. And then even when he went to the NFL and they started to, label him and stuff like that. I was like, I remember my feeling about that. I'm like, how do you just flip on somebody? Like, he was praising him for what he was doing at one point because he was dedicating his last season to his grandmother and the quote unquote girlfriend who passed away. But then you just quickly flip, and it's like, okay. And for me, it just kind of brought it back to, again, I'm a age out right now, because back in the day when we met people, if we met people long distance, so called, we met them on Excite Chat, Yahoo Messenger. We didn't have phones. We just had pictures. So that's how we talk to people. Like, I didn't have a camera, so I didn't talk to somebody on the camera. So it was like, it just kind of brought all that back. It's like how quickly, like, the media didn't even do their research. They just went in, praised him, and then literally when it was dropped, instead of backtrack and saying, we didn't do our research, they just quickly went right on him. And I was like, dang, that's crazy.
It's also, too, always a conspiracy. It speaks to what we were talking about last week about people not wanting to be accountable for their actions. No, that's true. So it's just like, hey, it ain't us, it's you.
Yeah, so it's good. It's like I said, again, if you're...
you never told them the name.
What is it?
Untold. There's a series of documentaries.
Untold, Manti Teo. It's Untold. Netflix, Untold, Manti Teo. I don't remember the other, but you'll find it. It's
the non-existent girlfriend. Some
catfish. I don't know.
Some girlfriend. No, it's girlfriend something. But anyways.
Oh yeah.
You'll find it. Go Netflix, Untold.
Yeah,
and you'll see it.
Check it out. Yeah. It's really good. Funny thing is.
It is.
I don't really watch stuff like that, but when I saw it and started watching it, I put my wife on it. I was like, yes. I got something you want to watch. So
I love a good true crime series, as well as documentaries, especially about a juicy topic. And because I remember it too. Yeah, Jay had to put me on. Because also I didn't know that they were back.
Yeah.
Because they did a whole season 1. And so I really like the way that they do their documentaries.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, how do you get the stuff on me? But that's fine. I watched it. It was great.
Yeah. What is going to be our topic today?
We are talking about us. Period. No.
I was like,
we are talking about us.
Oh,
it's an update episode. It's an update episode about our couples therapy and how it went.
Okay.
And just kind of where. High level, kind of what brought us to that space, but then what have we learned by going through couples therapy?
Okay.
So that's it. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. So.
All right. So. Okay. So what?
This was where you said.
I know. Where do we begin?
Where we begin, because there's a lot.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, that's why I said high level. How we got there.
Gotcha.
We were firm believers, or we still are firm believers of therapy.
Correct.
There's a lot of, hopefully, now I feel like it's getting better about Christians going to get therapy, because they're like, if your therapist is not Christian, then they're leading you to the devil, basically. And so, but I was I didn't feel like that's what we needed, because we have marriage mentors that are believers. So, and I feel like our couple friend group, they do a really good job at holding us accountable. So I didn't think we needed someone specifically for a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
Although we probably should talk about our spiritual trauma with our individual therapists. But
correct. No, I digress. That's true.
But we had got to a point where we kept saying we need to find a couple therapist. We could not find one. Actually, it was just availability. We just couldn't find anybody that we felt like both of us would gel with. We found they were either older or non-black.
Not even non-black, but we wanted somebody that. What is the acronym?
EFT?
Yeah.
No, we learned that.
Oh, okay.
Remember when we first started, we didn't know that.
We didn't know that, but looking for somebody that does EFT. So, what does it stand for?
Emotionally focused therapy.
That's what it is. Okay, yeah.
But so anyway, so we're trying to find someone. We never did, and we just kind of like, we'll find one later. And so we got to a point last year.
Yes.
Where our communication, it was trash. Mm-hmm. It was trash, and it was trash because we were trying to do too much. We were trying to do too much, and we were trying to be too many things, I think. To other people as well as to each other, and
we was wearing thin.
Huh?
We was wearing thin.
We wore ourselves thin, and because of the lack of communication, because of the time, like schedules and stuff, we were just thin. It was. We was just. That's because that's the best way to describe it. It was just like, it wasn't like there was fighting.
Yeah,
because we didn't have time to fight. Like, we literally didn't. We barely had time to like say hi, bye, whatever. Even going to bed, it was like we were trying to go to bed at the same time, which was literally impossible because of your work schedule. And so then I was trying to stay up, and that didn't work out. And then because it was like, then I had to, be all the things to the kids the next day. Yep. It was just not. So we weren't fighting. Honestly, it was just we were not talking. And I think I had got to the point. I knew I could only speak for myself. I got to the point where I was just so overwhelmed and so like exhausted and so just tired. Yeah. And I was just like, we can't do this anymore. We just cannot. And so then that's when I think we got real serious about getting a therapist. Yeah,
no, that's because even for me it was. I would say for me it was more frustration because I knew I didn't want to have conversations while I was at work because again it's like we're in two different spots. I would prefer, so for me it was more frustration because I wanted to have these conversations, but I couldn't do it because if I even tried to do it at work, either the kids would interrupt. Either I'm like in a conversation and then something happens at work. So it was like I didn't have the time. So for me it was more frustrating because I knew that communication was lacking because literally our only time we could communicate was possibly on Saturday. But Saturday we had to get up for sports. We had to, so it was limited to what we can actually.
Well, and we were trying to take Bside to the next level.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Well, actually, not even the next level. We were just trying to kick off.
Yeah, because we was doing.
Because we were
posting 3 times a day.
Yeah, so we were posting because we had got business coaches.
Yeah, we got business coaches.
So that was literally like the only time that we were together was to do the coaching, which is why I figured therapy would work for us because I know we can, if we put it on the calendar, we will both be able to be at that one location, not necessarily physically together, but we could all be at that meeting.
Yeah. No, that's true.
So then we agreed to find someone. We used like an online therapy network to find our therapist. First one did not go well. First one did not go well. And it wasn't on our part. We showed up. Yeah. We were there, but therapists had bad...
They always had bad reception.
It was just not good. And we couldn't see her face. Like I saw this part in her ceiling. Yeah. And right then and there, that turned me off.
That triggered her.
I was like, no, because this is your job. I understand we're all working through, because it was like, the pandemic was still
in full effect.
So I understand that everybody wasn't prepared, but you got to be the best prepared you can because you've been doing, this is your job, so you have to have figured out something. I know you're not having all of those appointments like that and still seeing people. But anyways, so that's why I was like, oh, that's unprofessional, whatever. I was a little harsh.
And then on top of that issue, that's when one of my close friends passed away too. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like like I said, not saying we was doing everything, but it was a lot of things going on. So.
Yes. I so forgot about that.
Yeah.
How did I forget about that? But then also, we
kept having to
reschedule. So she would give us homework, and her homework had nothing to do with what we had told her our issues were.
Oh yeah.
That was my final straw.
Yeah.
I said, we told her what we.
Yeah.
And mind you, the service requires you to fill like because I feel like a lengthy intake.
And it's for both people. It's not just one person. It's not like I can feel like both people had to do the intake.
Yes.
And then the stuff we put, she's giving us stuff to homework. It was like, this doesn't.
Right. And it was like, we talked to you, kind of. Well, I mean, we talked to you. We didn't see you, but we talked to you.
Maybe it was the service. It was choppy, so she heard every other word.
Well, anyway, so I'm like, the first week, the first time, I'm like, okay, it's fine. It was a miscommunication. We'll try to do the homework. Mm-hmm. But because we didn't feel like it was relevant, we didn't really put a lot into it.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth. So then when we have the second one, or we could never have the second one.
We never had the second one because that's, it was around that time when we had the second one.
So we sent a text message and was like, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
Can you give us, because mind you, we're still not talking through all of this.
Yeah.
Like, we are not talking.
Yeah.
So I was like, can you give us something so that we can both deal with our grief
as
while we're still trying to improve communication?
Mm-hmm.
And what she gave us, I said, nah, I'm tapping out. So then that's why we're like, we'll save it for later because we're dealing with grief.
Yeah.
We're trying to, go to New York. It was like a lot of things going on. We were trying to help the.
Yeah, a bit. I just want a tip. If you have, if you're doing these online therapy thing, you have to remember that you're paying for the month. So if you're not using it, it doesn't carry over to the next month. You're paying for that service even if you don't meet with somebody. And we didn't realize that because we was thinking each session, will get pulled out. That's not the case. So that's something you have to, if emergency comes up, I don't know. I don't know how you can make adjustments or call them, say, listen, I need to cancel it because we got family things I'm gonna be dealing with, and right now I don't have that time to meet with somebody or whatever it may be. But yeah, we basically paid for a whole month because.
And did one session.
And then almost 2 months. I didn't only did one session.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so that's just.
So that is.
That's that's a lesson learned. So.
So anyway, so when we finally did start, so we did start. We found someone else. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, so this was the deal. This is when we realized that we probably need, and plus I was going to school, so I had learned a couple of things.
Yeah.
And of course I'm listening to all the podcasts. So I'm like, okay, I think we might need a EFT specialized therapist or a therapist who specializes in EFT.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, so the first lady was kind of built off of my my requirements for a therapist. So I said the second time we're gonna find someone that is more geared towards Jay, that I feel like Jay would really relate to.
Yeah,
'cause I kind of feel like I can generally relate to anybody. So anyways, so I feel like it was more important, but also too because I wanted this to work. Like I said, we are tired. So I wanted it to work. So I was like, we're gonna gear to Jay, and Jay he took the lead on feeling basically updating, saying we need someone else and what we're looking for, blah blah blah. And so we settled on a guy therapist, a male therapist. And so then I get COVID.
Yes. So then we have to pause it again.
No, remember we tried to do our first session.
Oh, yeah.
And I tried to do it in the office.
Yeah.
Because I was legit, because this was it was Omicron. That was I got the Omicron. I didn't get the OG, I got the Omicron.
Yeah.
And so I had been quarantining, and so I was like, well, I can just try to do it in the room, but our lighting setup was in the office. So I was like, so I go into the office, and why don't you go into the dining room?
Yeah.
And that way we'll still have separation, whatever. Well,
the application only allows...
does not allow.
It can have multiple cameras. Yeah, it can't have three-way cameras, so you can only do one camera, and then their camera on that side. You can't have...
That's what it was, because I want to be able to talk without the mask.
Yeah.
So that so I can really connect. Like we can connect. Yeah. So that was not happening. So now I had to put on a mask. I had to try to sit next to Jay, but talk like... What's up? That's a disaster.
Yeah.
And then because I'm so, like, I'm frustrated, I'm sick, I'm frustrated, I'm just like crying in a mask, but he can't tell, the therapist can't tell that I'm crying.
Yeah, because she got a mask on.
Because I have the mask on, but it's getting wet and I can't breathe, I'm already congested. But anyways, we got through that one.
Yeah.
And we had been having conversations because I was like, one of the things that I felt like was the biggest headache or the biggest challenge that was very hard for us to overcome was the fact that Jay's work schedule was just not, it wasn't flexible.
Yeah.
And he was just always gone.
Yeah.
And he was always gone when I needed support. And so I had mentioned, I was like, I think you need to start looking for another job. Actually, no, that wasn't. I mentioned that you need to look for another position with your company. Because there were other opportunities there, opportunities-ish there, I felt as though
I could have done.
Well, no, I knew you could have done that.
Yeah.
I felt like you were not putting yourself out there enough to say this is what they need to do. Like,
gotcha.
Like in order to keep me, y'all need to put me in this kind of a role.
Gotcha.
So I felt as though you were not fighting hard enough.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
To make a change.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So then we were talking to the therapist. The therapist really related, Jay really related to the therapist. So now let's talk about lessons learned from therapy.
First of all, do it. That's the first thing.
That's not a lesson learned.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about, like a lesson learned. So one of the things that I learned, we knew ahead of time, we were just, it was confirmed through therapy, is that it is easier to talk about difficult situations when you have a neutral third party in the mix. So, for example, like I said, I had that conversation about Jay, about changing jobs, or changing roles within his current job or employee. I had said it several times. Not saying that I had said it in a way where it was received, because apparently it wasn't. But I had said it, and I kept feeling like I kept saying the same thing over and over, but yet he wasn't making any moves. So by us going to therapy, having a neutral third party there to hear, he literally asked, like, what do I want? Or what, like, yes, I want Jay to change jobs, but why? And so by me having a third party in the room, I was able to talk more freely, knowing that I was not going to be like interrupted or that this third person was going to pick a side.
Okay. No, that's...
It was literally like, just say what it is, say all of it, not just some of it. Just say what it is so that you can hear it, as well as then we can deal with it.
Okay.
So that's what I mean about like lessons learned.
Yeah, and see, and that's why I was like, I'm trying to, because for me, I guess when I think about lessons learned, it's more, I'll say like, when I say do it, I mean it more is because to kind of piggyback off what you said, having a third party. Yes, I heard Shonda tell me that once before. But in that setting, even what she said, she even elaborated even more about that. So having that third party that, again, she was comfortable with being able to open and say even more, it clicked. For me, it clicked even more how much I need to get on a move and do this, that I need to figure it. So that's why I'm saying it's good. Mm-hmm. It's good to go because that you get that, you know, if you have a therapist that's good, you get a therapist that will, again, not pick sides, but basically allow each person to be able to speak what they're feeling and allow the other person, because he even like asked me, so what did she say? Like, so it was like I had to listen. It wasn't like, you know, I know active listening. And like I said, I heard her when she told me before, but for me it was more of, I was trying, but I couldn't think of any other avenue if I wanted to stay in there. So I was trying to figure out, and then again, for me, there's other things that pile on. Yeah. And we're not gonna go into that. But the other thing that piled on for me, so it was like, you know, so I was trying to, but when she actually was able to even elaborate even more on what she already had told me, then it clicked even more. It was like, okay, there needs to be more urgency behind this. Right.
And to that point, he gave us the language.
Yes.
He gave us the language to be able to communicate in a way where we both could hear each other. Mm-hmm. Because I had, like Jay said, I had said it before. He heard it, but he didn't really hear, you know? Yeah. So I needed to say it in a way that he could really understand what I was getting at. Because, I could easily say, I need you to find a new job. Well, okay, yes, I will eventually do that, whatever. Mm-hmm. But like Jay said, with the therapist, he gave me, because he was just like, but why? Like, what is it behind? Like, he kept, like, encouraging me to use more words to understand or to communicate or to relay that there needs to be an urgency.
Correct.
Because saying you need to find a new job or another job is different than we're struggling. Mm-hmm. I need you to find a new job or find another solution. Because it also, too, wasn't just find a new job or find another solution so that we could have more time together.
Correct.
That was the whole thing. It was not just, I didn't give you one way, not only one way to resolve it, but it wasn't like one option. It was just like, I just need you to prioritize us and our family over the job. Mm-hmm. So whether it be you work from home more days or some days, because you were not working from home.
I wasn't working from home.
Well, yeah, or just trying to put more structure and boundaries around your job, like your work hours, was an option. Or that's what I felt like. It could have been an option or whatever. But I'm just like, I need you to do something. Yeah. Because I am literally drowning. Mm-hmm. And I think even at that point, we didn't even understand how bad each one of us was drowning separately.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You get to have a third party. I need your third party to help you speak through some things. Mm-hmm. They help you give language to the issue or what you're feeling. Yeah. What else?
Like I said, I say that particular therapist, for me, it kind of pushed us back to each other. I'll look at it like that. I'll say it like that.
Definitely.
He pushed us back to each other. And not in the way it was like forceful. It was just more of, it's like, you know, I remember him saying, he was like, from what I hear, it's like, y'all make a good couple. Y'all make a good, and he was like, y'all just have to, you know, you just have to hear and listen to each other more, and that's what it is. And because we had all these other things, not disguise, but we had all these other things like not clouding our ears,
distractions.
But there's distractions. I know it was a D. We had all these other distractions. It was hard for us to really focus on each other, and that's, like I said, just having him, I always say, even when we do, our marriage coaching, it's like, you need to have those individuals in your group that's pushing you towards each other. Not away, but pushing you towards. And like, even with the therapist, just, he really, he pushed us towards each other even more.
Did you read my notes?
No, why?
Because that was the next one.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. No,
it was good.
Oh, I know.
It was literally the next one that I had.
Oh, I didn't. Sorry. I took your note. My bad.
No. It literally was like by us being able to put it out there, have the right language, then we were able to come together to fight the problem, focus on the problem and resolve the problem.
We was on two sides of if you go to dinner, we was on two sides. Yes. And this time, he got us to be back on the same side, so we're attacking the problem instead of our back to the problem. So because it was quite a few times where he would he would be working with you and trying to get you to do stuff, and I'm just like, oh, but he does this, he does it. He was like, I'm not talking to you right now. He cut it off quickly.
He's like, okay. He was like, look, she is defending you, and I'm just trying to work through some things with you, and all in face. So so that's what it was like. It was just and it really, honestly, it got us to stop worrying about all the noise and to focus on, okay, so if this is our trigger, how do we figure this out? Mm-hmm. So then that everything else can flow. I'm spitting, sorry.
You what?
I was spitting. And so I feel like the last thing it did, it helped us to really dedicate time and create a space for us to express ourselves. Yeah. And for us to really focus on us. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, we were doing so much, but we knew, okay, we're meeting at this time. We were like, kids, y'all need to be asleep. Mm-hmm. If not, you can't come out of your room.
Correct.
We're not here. Mm-hmm. If there's anything that go, the only interrupt if it's an emergency, meaning y'all done set something on fire.
Or somebody bleeding.
Or yes, there's significant blood because they'll get a scratch. And,
my nose bleeding. Yeah. Take a tissue, put it in your nose.
Exactly, yes. Well, they have nosebleeds, so that's not an emergency to us. We know how to deal with those. But so it was literally this is our time, and then even afterwards, yes, we talked to the therapist, during that time, but then there was conversation afterwards. Mm-hmm. And we would just, okay, so how do you feel about, we would basically debrief afterwards. Mm-hmm. And so when we told him, the therapist, what we do, he was like, so y'all just need a mediator. That's
literally what he said. It was hilarious. Because it was towards the end of one of the calls, and he was like, so what do y'all do? And it was like, in terms of what? And because
we were wearing all the hats.
Yeah, we was wearing all the hats, and some of the stuff that we were saying, I guess he kind of was like, do they do some type of therapy? Because some of the things we were saying, he was, it kind of, so when we told him, I told him what I actually did for work, and then what we do as a business, he was like, oh, okay. So it was more it made sense to him.
Yeah, he was like, okay, that makes sense. He was like, yeah. So, and that's the one thing, that's another thing. Because my marriage advance tip is what Jay had mentioned, at the jump. Invest in yourself.
Oh, I was like,
invest in yourself. You have to do this. Yeah. I know it is not cheap. Yes, there are even the online services, the monthly services. Mm-hmm. There's that. I know a lot of insurance. I'm finding out by being in the profession now that a lot of insurances do not provide couples therapy. They'll pay for individual, but not couples. So I understand all of that, but invest in yourself. Okay. You have to invest into your relationship because you have to do the work. There's no way to just coast in marriage. even if you know all the things, even if even if you do all the things, like, there's still no coasting. It's a constant having to, like, massage and, tweak things as you're going along, because marriage is not always, like, hard work, but it is work. And so you have to invest in yourself. And if it's, like, just reaching out to try to find, like, if money is an issue, reaching out. There are some therapists who actually take have sliding scale, so that you can pay for discounted services, but also keep in mind it's discounted. So it's discounted on the therapist's part. Not speaking ill, but if you get some on sale, it's different than if you pay full price. You know what I'm saying? So when you pay full price, you're, like, truly invested.
Yeah.
Like, you want to make sure and also too, because it's like it's accountability too, right? Like, if I'm paying you for your time, I want you to bring your full self, and I'm bringing all of us.
Yeah.
So so I'm just saying, just do it. You need to do it. You need to invest in yourself. We invest in so many other things that are not beneficial, do not cause any growth. There's materialistic and superficial. Therapy will help you, help your relationship, and send you on the right path. Also, I want to clarify something about therapy. Therapy is not there to provide you the answers. So if you go to therapy thinking that a therapist is going to give you answers and give you what you should do, then you're going in with the wrong expectation, because that does not help you at all. Like,
correct.
They're not going to go and solve your problems. What they're going to do is they're going to give you the skills and the capabilities to work through whatever you have internalized or whatever you're struggling with, so that you two can work together to come up with a solution. Correct.
I wanted to just add on to that.
Yes, go for it.
For individuals who have vehicles, you take your car in to get an oil change every 3,000 miles, right? Why do you do that? Anybody know? Why do you do that? Because you need your car to run so you can drive where you need to go. If it's to work, if it's to, wherever it may be, for pleasure, golfing, whatever it may be. But simple fact is, it's the same way your marriage is. You have to get the maintenance that you need. Because like Shonda said earlier, it's like you just can't coast. Your car cannot coast if there's no oil. If that oil is not clean and your filter's not replaced. So it's the same thing with your marriage. It's like you have to be able to go to a therapist, go to someone that's going to help you filter out those bad things, those things that you guys are holding on to. Whether it be, not communicating, there's a lot of different things that it can be, but they're going to help you filter those things out so you guys can come back to one another and be able to have your vehicle, the two of you guys, be able to drive smoothly, into the next time. So.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that analogy, a car can coast, but it only coasts so far.
Yeah.
And then it's going to stop.
Yeah.
And so that's why you got to make sure you're going and getting your maintenance and you're getting your gas and you're treating your car well so that you can start it up. So.
All right. Well, we had a good one this week.
Well, yeah. I'm just like, couples therapy is really great. Yeah. I cannot say anything else but good things about it. The problem is, we were supposed to talk about the Jesus part too.
Oh.
We're running out of time. So quickly though, we also are part of a Bible study group where we focus on like being delivered and casting out certain spirits. And so we've done that with Minister Bev. I can't remember Minister Bev's last name.
Okay.
But we did a couple sessions with that as well, so that all of this, because we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. So spirits and principalities. So we also
Tucker.
we're focusing on that. Bev Tucker, yes. And so we've really been able to to get rid of some spirits, some capabilities that are not aligned with our purpose. So, for example, like I have a very high performance spirit that was on me, and so that also I think was why I kept saying I can handle it. Like I would let Jay work, and when he came home, I was trying to get him to just relax because he was never home. So whatever's going on, I can handle it. Kids, I can handle it. Whatever business, whatever work, I can handle it. And to the point where I was just like, I can't. But then it was like, but I couldn't. Yeah. But I didn't know how to
not do it.
Right, come because this is why our household works, because I'm able to do all these things, and you get boasted up on your pride, and because I do all this, I, and it wasn't that, and that wasn't the case, and so that's why I was had to take that off, cast that off, and was listen, I can only do what God has enabled me to do, and He has made me responsible for, because I was owning things that I didn't even need.
And now it's way better. Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's why we've only had A moments for the last few weeks. That's a good point. We've had a summer of a lot of A's.
That's a good
point.
Our
B's have been with the kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're definitely in a better space for sure.
Definitely in a better space.
And we're still doing the work. We're still doing the work. We're not doing couples therapy now because
working on us, really.
Yes, I'm gonna say we're doing our individual. I was gonna say internal. No, our individual work. So yeah, but we will highly recommend it. And that's what I was trying to say back with the money thing. You don't have to go. You don't have to keep a couple therapist. You don't have to see a couples therapist once every week or once every month. You can just go get your annual checkup. Yeah. And based off of that, determine how many sessions you will need. You might just need one. You might need more. But there's flexibility.
And it all depends on how much work each of you are willing to put in. Because if you just want to go to somebody to hear, allow you to vent and you don't want to do the work, you're probably going to continue going. But if you're going to actually do the work, once you've spoken to me, you guys were able to get your, speak on what you was feeling, what you're going through in that moment, and what you want to change moving forward, and allow each person to hear it. Yeah, like I said, like us, we've been able to, do the work that's keeping us in the direction that we are right now. Yes. But if you don't, you're gonna. Again, I don't like to be negative, but if you're not going to put in the work, and you're not going to put the work in your marriage, you're going to
you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And also, you cannot go to therapy thinking that the therapist is going to side with you and help, put the blame on the other person.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to work either.
Yeah, it's not going to work. So is that everything?
I think that's finally everything.
So share this,
yes.
Like it. And like I said, if there's any topics that you guys want us to tackle, just let us know. Shoot us a message, email, or DM, and we'll get on them.
Also, I do want to highlight our shirts. So it says us, period, because it's all about us first, kids later. But in there are different songs that make up us, and it's what are the songs? I'm trying to read them on my own.
Endless Love, Fire, Desire, My Boo,
Still
in Love.
Loving You. Anyway, there's a whole lot of love songs that kind of just make up like
Two Hearts, Tender Kisses.
Yeah.
The Best Part. I'm trying to see what else. Perfect Combination. The Rest of My Life.
Okay, we don't have to do all of them.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying these are love songs, whatever, that makes up us because we want to just focus on us. So if you want the shirts so that you can focus on you, go ahead and check it out. Check out our website. Everything's on it.
All right. Until next week.
Peace.